Sup guys, Juggalo here, and I have successfully implemented the new LED to the PCB. Again, this side right here is going to be your positive side and this is your negative. I will post a picture that I found online that gives a list of all the markings for SMDs and what is positive and what is negative. They have basically it looks like a T, they have a triangle one, they have one that basically it's a straight line, then it goes up and it almost looks like a half of a rectangle going doot 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 like that. So alright, now we're going to go ahead and when you do that, make sure you test it, for the love of God. So basically a little jerry-rigging here. We have the bottom of the controller right here. We have both PCBs together. It won't turn on unless you have both PCBs on together. So we're going to go ahead and put this on like that. And then also if you have a USB cable, you can use that too. That should help you out. So that being said, I thought I had batteries. There they are. Two batteries right here. Going to go ahead and install them. Negative. Okay, and then we're going to do positive. Alright, and how you can test it. This is straight up jerry rig and it works, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to find your little thumb pad deal, you know, this right here is what I was talking about. This is actually what you hit that makes the buttons recognize on the controller onto your system. So that being said, let me go ahead and flip this around and that's how it's going to look. It looks like I got the SMD pretty darn good center, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to go in anymore. I might have to raise it up a little bit, but let me see. Unscrew it. So there we go. Up. Alright, there. That should be good enough, hopefully anyway. But all you're going to do, take your button right here, or you might be able to just use your finger, and there you go. There is the green LED, and it's actually connected to my Xbox right now probably. So there you go. Nice green LED. Got the LEDs through Amazon.com. So again, go ahead and take that off, and now we're going to go ahead and remove the batteries. And we're going to go ahead and put this back together. Now it should go back together fairly easy, so just have to take the PCB apart real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. There we go. Now let's see, trigger, and then there's the back part. Okay, I was just making sure I had everything before I started putting everything back together. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and take this unit right here, and we're going to go ahead and put back the motors and everything like that. So I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go ahead and do that real quick. So again, you're just going to take these motors, and obviously it's pretty easy. I wish I had a better camera / lighting here, but this is all I have, and this is the brightest thing in the room. So to put back the motors, fairly easy. We're going to go ahead and put that on like that. So fairly easy again. And then we're going to go ahead and take our trigger. Let's see, that's right trigger. This is going to be our left trigger right here. And we're going to go ahead and screw that in. So just give me 1 second. Flip it around like so. And then from there, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not to get the screw in. So I'm hoping this is pretty easy. Okay, just give me 1 second. So now I have to contend with the motor, which is kind of popping out too, as well as the screw. So that's always fun. Okay, let me see if I can back the screw out just a tad. And then we'll go ahead and pop this motor back in, like so. And it should snap into place. Also, what I would recommend if you don't have it, let me go ahead and back this camera out. If you don't have it, maybe some electrical tape would definitely probably help you out. For sure. I unfortunately don't know where my electrical tape went. So I think this process will be a lot easier if you have electrical tape to hold this motor into place. So alright, then we have dogs barking from the neighbors. That's always fun. So we're going to go ahead and take this screw and screw it back in. Now if you have a controller mod, it's not going to be this easy. It's actually going to be a pain in the butt, just because of it's never been threaded before, so you might have some issues doing that, so it's not so fun. I was actually having an issue on my controller when I did that, and also sometimes it's just leverage isn't always the key. So we'll just do this by hand, and then from there there we go. Go ahead and do this. So basically I'm showing you the process. It's pretty much reverse. And I'm going to show you what to do basically if you do a controller mod and everything like that. If you decide to do it, it's pretty darn cool if you can do it and everything like that. So go ahead and flip this over. We're going to have this, you can kind of tell which way the motors went. So we're going to go ahead and put this side right here, then we'll get the other thumbstick, and then go ahead and put that in place like that. So basically this is what it should look like. It should be flush completely with it, and then sometimes you might just use this. This sometimes is easier than using a screwdriver. Again, this is T6, guys, T6. Just like your G6, get it? Alright, and hopefully this is the right screw. I accidentally forgot to label them. So, and also this magnet right here, I'm going to show you guys, zoom this up. This magnet right here is a pain in the butt, because sometimes when you're trying to get a screw in, it will automatically go right to it, and then you got to try again. So it can be a little frustrating when you're trying to get that screw in, but then you have the magnet that's taking that screw out of the hole that you want it to go into. So go ahead and do that. Okay. So we got the hard part done. I don't think soldering is that hard. I think it's the easiest thing compared to what I did. But anyways, alright guys, now we're going to go ahead and flip this and make sure wires are going to go where they need to go, kind of deal. So that's how it's kind of going to go. We'll fix those a little later. But right now we're going to be focusing on getting the PCB and stuff installed. So, alright. So that means you got to get your buttons. And for this right here, you might need multiple tools, because you want to have it high enough where the controller mount itself is sitting high enough so you can drop the buttons into place and it's not going to interfere with anything whatsoever. So this is pretty easy. It's basically like a little Lego action kind of deal. Like I always say, like building a computer, it's always very simple. So I'm going to try to see if I can zoom in there, something like that. So these things are already prescribed on what you need to do, so you just drop them into place. You can't mess it up unless you like do a lot of force, but I don't see why you would want to. So I need to back that out and then drop that into place. See, this drops in. So again, guys, fairly simple. You're just lining up how everything's supposed to be. Like that's your A button, and then B button is going to be right here. X is going to be side, so right here. Okay, and then Y. Let's see, should be. Well, accidentally dropped it in wrong. There we go. So if it doesn't go in easy, you know you put it in wrong. So you just saw me catch my own mistake. Alright. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take your pad. Make sure, also double check, ensure everything that you have is. And so you're going to need your, Xbox button, the A, B, Y, X, your menu and your settings button, I guess you want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on like so. And this is how it's going to look. This is how you're supposed to do everything, like that. Okay, now you're going to take your PCB right here, and then you're going to drop that right into place. So hopefully you won't have anything to contend with. And then let's see. Alright, now seem to misplace something, but it's all good. So again, go ahead and try to find my bit. There it is. So again, T6, guys. Pretty much everything's T6, then outside the controller is going to be T8. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. And also, what's pretty easy sometimes is if you take your tweezers and then just drop them into place like so. Sometimes it's that much easier. So go ahead and drop this into place. That's the only thing I don't like about tweezers, that is if you squeeze too hard, they might shoot out like a freaking spring. Okay. Oh well, I'll get those later. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start screwing these down. Hopefully. Alright. go ahead and pop this in. Once you get them pre-started, just put them on your screwdriver. It's going to be way easier after that. Okay. Also, you can tell if you're doing the wrong screw if it's puncturing through the plastic. Just word of advice right there. Okay. And I actually did the LED mod successfully, and what you do for the LED essentially is on either side, here's the other two screws, on either side of the LED you're essentially going to flow it, which I would say murder it with solder. And what that means is that you're going to basically raise the solder level of the SMD to the point where the SMD should float right off the pads. And you just have to be very, very careful when you do that. Crap, there's a screw. Because from my experience, if you don't heat it up the right way, or you don't heat it up long enough and then you start pushing, you have the likelihood of taking the pad where the LED attaches to via solder, and you are going to be kind of hosed. That's from my experience anyway. So now we just have to put this one final screw, and it seems like the one final screw is always the one that's a pain in the butt, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to back it out. I don't want to cross thread it. So let me see. Alright, so we have all the screws in. We're good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the other stuff, the fun stuff. So have your wires, you know, all that fun stuff. So what we're going to have to do first is, excuse me. Take this button right here, or this part right here, and now I'm looking for where I put the reset button at, or whatever. If not, I should have a ton of them somewhere. So that is very kind of messed up. I just had it. Alright guys, let me go ahead and find this and then I'll come back.